Lesson 75, area of trapezoids. We've actually been finding area of trapezoids for quite a while, but we haven't been doing it with the method that I'm going to give you today, which is just a formula. It's a shortcut. We've been taking trapezoids that look like this and dividing them up into rectangles and triangles and then adding their areas together. And that'll continue to work if we have all the information. But really, we only need three things. We need to know the length of the two parallel sides, and we need to know the height. In other words, the distance between the two parallel sides. And remember, we're talking about shortest distance, so it's got to be perpendicular to those parallel lines. This slant height right here is not the height we need in order to do this formula. The area of a trapezoid is 1/2 of the height times the sum of the bases. 1/2 the height times the sum of the bases. So you just divide the height by 2, and then you multiply that by the sum of the bases. So add the bases together, multiply by 1/2 of the height. Here we go. We're going to do this a few times. Find the area of these trapezoids. Okay. Now the area of a trapezoid is 1/2 the height. The height in this case, 1/2 the height times the sum of the bases. I'm kind of doing it in a little bit different order here. But same thing. There's 1/2 of 8, and then the sum of the bases is going to be 10 plus 16. So this 10 over here, not necessary. We're not going to use that at all. Now, if we were doing the perimeter, yeah, we'd need that, but not necessary to figure out the height. The height is 8. So we're doing 1/2 of 26 times 8. Half of 26 is 13, and 13 times 8 is 104. So 104 centimeters squared. Okay, and that would be the same as finding the area of a 10 by 8 rectangle right here and the area of a 8 by 6 right triangle, and then adding them together. But this formula is a little bit easier. We're going to do it a few more times. It's a slightly different looking trapezoid, but the formula remains the same. We're going to do 1/2 the sum of the bases times the height. So 1/2 of 10 times 4. 1/2 of 40 is 20. So 20 square inches. Pretty easy formula to work if we can identify the parts that we need. Let's do it again. In an upside down trapezoid, it does not change anything. We're going to do 1/2. The sum of the bases are the parallel sides, 8 and 2. And then the height is 6. So we're going to do 1/2 of 10 times 6, or 1/2 of 60, which is 30 square feet. All right. Well, this doesn't seem like it fits. It seems like it's a parallelogram, not a trapezoid. But actually, it is a trapezoid because if it was a parallelogram, this top line would be congruent to the bottom line. They are not congruent. So it's not a parallelogram. If it was a parallelogram, we'd just do base times height. But both of these bases are different, so we can't do base times height. So we'll use trapezoid formula. It'll work. We'll do 1/2 the sum of the bases times the height, 1.2. So we're doing 1/2 of 3 times 1.2. So 1.5 times 1.2 is 1.8 meters squared. Okay, so if the top and the bottom are not equal, it's a trapezoid. You got to use this formula that I've given you today. If the top and the bottom are equal, it's a parallelogram. You just do base times height. And one more here. Why would we need to find the area of a trapezoid? Well, lots of things are shaped like trapezoids, and we might need to find the area of them. For instance, in this situation, the shingles on the south side of Tamika's roof need to be replaced. The shingles she wants come in bundles that cover 33 1/3 square feet. Tamika calculates the area of the section of the roof and then determines the number of bundles she needs. She wants to buy 2 extra bundles to allow for cutting and waste. What's the area of the section of roof and how many bundles should Tamika buy? Okay, so there's a few things going on here. Let's look at 2 pages at once here. I've got my answers on the next page. The first thing we need to do is figure out the area of this trapezoid. That's probably the easy part. We'll do the sum of the bases. 20 plus 40, and then the height is 15. So half of 60 times 15, or 30 times 15 is the same thing. That's 450 square feet. That's the area of the space that needs to be covered by shingles. So just to cover that space alone, how many bundles does she need? Well, let's look at it this way. I'm going to use a unit multiplier. I'm going to say, okay, if I've got 450 square feet that need to be covered, and every one bundle covers 33 1/3 square feet, that'll tell me how many bundles I need. There's another way to look at that. 33 1/3 is 100 thirds. So 450 divided by 100 thirds, or 450 times 3 100ths, is 13.5 bundles. 13.5 bundles. But we also need to add the 2 extra bundles that she wants to buy. So we actually need 15.5 bundles. That's how many Tamika wants to buy. But they don't sell bundles in halves, so we'll buy 16 bundles. All right, a lot going on there. Video is only 6 minutes and 20 seconds. You can watch it as many times as you want. I encourage you to do so. And I'll see you tomorrow with any questions you've got, either over the lesson or over your previous day's problem set. See you then.